From the humble streets of 9 Mile to the grand stages of the world, one man's music transcended borders and touched souls. Bob Marley, the voice of reggae, became a symbol of peace, unity, and resistance. His melodies carried messages that resonate across continents, inspiring generations. Join us as we delve into the life of a legend, exploring the rhythms, the roots, and the revolution of Bob Marley. Born on February 6, 1945, in the rural village of 9 Mile, St. Ann Parish, Jamaica, Robert Nesta Marley entered the world as the son of Cedella Malcolm, a young Afro-Jamaican woman, and Norval Sinclair Marley, a white Jamaican of English descent. Raised primarily by his mother, Bob's early years were shaped by the rhythms of rural life and the rich oral traditions of his community. At the age of 12, Bob and his mother moved to Trenchtown, a neighborhood in Kingston, known for its vibrant music scene and challenging living conditions. In Trenchtown, Bob formed a close friendship with Neville Livingston, later known as Bunny Wailer. Together, they immersed themselves in the emerging sounds of ska and R&B, drawing inspiration from American radio stations. Their musical journey led them to form a vocal group with Peter Tosh, initially called the Teenagers, then the Wailing Rude Boys, the Wailing Wailers, and finally the Wailers. Under the mentorship of singer Joe Higgs, they honed their harmonies and songwriting skills, laying the foundation for what would become a revolutionary force in music. As the 1960s faded into the 70s, music in Jamaica was transforming, and so was Bob Marley. He began his career rooted in the upbeat rhythms of ska and the smoother sounds of rocksteady, but it was reggae, born from struggle and soul, that gave Marley his voice. In 1972, Bob Marley and the Wailers signed with Island Records. It was a groundbreaking move. For the first time, a reggae act had the full backing of an international label. Chris Blackwell saw in Marley not just a musician, but a revolutionary. Their first album with Island, Catch a Fire, 1973, was more than a debut. It was a statement. It fused traditional Jamaican sounds with rock influences, drawing in audiences across Europe and the US. Rastaman Vibration, 1976, followed, climbing the Billboard charts and affirming Bob's place on the global stage. But it was Exodus, 1977, recorded in London after an assassination attempt in Jamaica, that defined his legend. Time magazine would later name it the album of the century. With hits like No Woman, No Cry, One Love, and the deeply spiritual Redemption song, Marley became the voice of the voiceless. His words spoke of love, resistance, and unity, messages that resonated far beyond the island of Jamaica. Bob Marley was no longer just a reggae artist. He was a global force, a musical prophet whose rise had only just begun. Behind the music and the message was a man deeply rooted in love, family, and faith. In 1966, Bob Marley married Alfarita Anderson, better known as Rita Marley. She wasn't just his wife, she was a musical partner, a member of the I-Threes, the iconic female trio that backed the Wailers in their most powerful years. Together, Bob and Rita built a family, one as musically gifted as their father. Bob Marley was the father of 11 children, each raised with a sense of rhythm and purpose. Among them, Ziggy, Stephen, Damian Jr. Gong, and Kai Manny Marley, names that have carried reggae into new generations. Ziggy Marley led the Melody Makers, winning Grammy Awards and continuing his father's tradition of conscious lyrics. Damian has blended reggae with hip-hop and dancehall, earning international acclaim for albums like Welcome to Jamrock. Bob's legacy wasn't only in the songs he sang, but in the family he raised. His children didn't just follow in his footsteps, they expanded them, turning the Marley name into a dynasty that stands for music, activism, and cultural pride. In every lyric, in every stage performance, Bob's spirit lives on through his children. Proof that his message of one love and unity never faded, it only multiplied. Beyond the music and the fame, Bob Marley was a man deeply rooted in his faith and principles. Embracing the Rastafarian movement in the 1960s, Marley found a spiritual path that profoundly influenced his life and art. Rastafarianism, emerging in the 1930s Jamaica, combines Old Testament teachings with a focus on African identity and liberation. venerating Emperor Haile Selassie I of Ethiopia as a divine figure. Marley's music echoed these beliefs, promoting messages of peace, love, and unity. He viewed his songs as vehicles for spiritual and social awakening, aiming to uplift the oppressed and inspire change. In his personal life, Marley embodied simplicity and humility. He lived modestly, valuing spiritual and cultural richness over material wealth. His Rastafarian faith emphasized a close connection to nature, community, and a rejection of materialism. In 1977, at the height of his global influence, Bob Marley received devastating news. He had acral lentiginous melanoma, a rare and aggressive form of skin cancer found beneath his toenail. Doctors advised amputation, but Marley declined, citing his Rastafarian beliefs that the body must remain whole. Instead, he continued to tour, recording music and performing for fans around the world, even as the illness silently spread. In 1980, while jogging in New York's Central Park, Bob collapsed. Tests revealed the cancer had reached his brain, lungs, and liver. Despite this, Marley remained focused on his mission. His final concert took place in Pittsburgh on September 23, 1980, a powerful performance that would become legendary. On May 11, 1981, Bob Marley passed away in Miami, Florida, at just 36 years old. His final words to his son Ziggy were, "Money can't buy life." Bob was laid to rest in his beloved Jamaica, entombed with his guitar, a Bible, and a stalk of ganja, symbols of the life he lived and the legacy he left behind. At the time of his passing in 1981, Bob Marley's estate was valued at approximately $11.5 million, a substantial sum reflecting his global success as a reggae icon. However, Marley died without a will, adhering to his Rastafarian beliefs that discouraged acknowledging mortality through legal documents. This absence of a will led to a protracted legal battle over his estate, involving his widow, Rita Marley, his children, and former business associates. Despite these challenges, the Marley estate has flourished over the decades. As of 2025, it's estimated to be worth over $500 million, generating annual revenues between $25 to $30 million through music royalties, licensing agreements, and merchandise sales. The estate is managed by Rita Marley and their children through Tough Gong International, a company Bob founded in 1965. Tough Gong has evolved into a multifaceted enterprise encompassing recording studios, music distribution, and various business ventures, all dedicated to preserving and promoting Marley's legacy. Through strategic management and a commitment to his artistic vision, Bob Marley's estate continues to thrive, ensuring that his message of unity and love resonates with new generations worldwide. Decades after his passing, Bob Marley's voice continues to echo across the globe, transcending borders and generations. His music, imbued with messages of resistance, love, and unity, remains a beacon for those seeking inspiration and change. In 1994, Marley's profound impact on music was formally recognized when he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. U2's Bono delivered a heartfelt tribute, highlighting Marley's unique ability to blend the spiritual and the political, the personal and the universal. Further cementing his status as a cultural icon, Marley was posthumously awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on February 6, 2001. This honor acknowledged his role in bringing reggae music and the Rastafari movement to a worldwide audience. Marley's influence permeates modern culture. His songs feature in films, commercials, and global events, continually introducing new listeners to his timeless messages. Documentaries like Marley, 2012, and the biographical film Bob Marley, One Love, 2024, delve into his life and philosophy, ensuring his story reaches diverse audiences. Beyond music, Marley's legacy thrives through his family's endeavors. His children, including Ziggy, Stephen, and Damien, have forged successful musical careers, carrying forward his mission of unity and social justice. From the streets of Kingston to stages worldwide, Bob Marley's legacy endures, reminding us all of the power of music to inspire, heal, and unite. From the humble hills of 9 Mile, Jamaica, to the grand stages of the world, Bob Marley's journey was one of passion, resilience, and unwavering commitment to unity. His music transcended borders, languages, and cultures, echoing messages of love, resistance, and hope. Marley didn't just sing about change, he became its embodiment, inspiring movements and touching souls across generations. Even decades after his passing, his influence remains palpable, from murals in urban landscapes to melodies in films and commercials. Marley's presence is ever present, reminding us of the power of music to heal and unite. As we reflect on his legacy, let us not only remember the man, but also embrace the message. Dive into his discography, feel the rhythm, and let his words guide you towards a world of one love. As the credits roll, let the timeless tune of One Love serenade you, a fitting tribute to a man whose heartbeat still resonates in every chord and lyric.